guys, it's Jess. I am here today to talk about Little Bee by Chris Cleave. I'm going to go through 3 different steps of this review. There'll be a very vague synopsis to allow for Chris Cleave's request. You'll understand when I read a synopsis. And then the second one will be a little more in-depth synopsis without any real spoilers. And then the third one will be me discussing the book completely with spoilers and everything. I will warn you before we get to that point, though. The synopsis says, "We don't want to tell you what happens in this book. It is truly a special story, and we don't want to spoil it. Nevertheless, you need to know enough to buy it, so we will just say this. This is the story of 2 women. Their lives collide one fateful day, and one of them has to make a terrible choice. The kind of choice we hope you never have to face. 2 years later, they meet again. Their story starts there. Once you have read it, you'll want to tell your friends about it. When you do, please don't tell them what happens. The magic is in how the story unfolds." And I would completely agree. I really want to talk about this book, but to respect Chris Cleave's wishes, I will say that it is about a younger woman and an older woman, and they meet one day, something terrible happens, 2 years later, they happen upon each other once again. And another terrible thing happens, and then this little boy ends up bringing the family together and bringing these 2 women together. I will say there are some triggers to be warned about, and they are very graphic triggers. So those would be suicide, assault, and rape. All 3 are present in Little Bee, so if those are triggers for you, know that going into this book they are present. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the synopsis, going beyond what's allowed on the back. This is a book about a refugee girl and an English wife, an English working woman / wife, mother, and her husband go on vacation in a third world country and are walking along the beach, and they find these 2 young girls who are begging them to take them back to their hotel so they're safe from the soldiers. And one of them thinks it's a lie, and then soldiers actually do appear and take the girls. And they feel, this English couple feels really bad about it. One of the girls stows away on a ship to England and finds this family, this couple again, starts telling her story about what happened after they left, what happened after they took her sister and all of that. So it's a very hard story, and it really makes you think about events in the world that aren't covered by general and vast media, and really think about what we don't know about what our governments are doing. It's a very impactful story. It's a very upsetting story, but I also think it's a very important story. Now, spoiler warning, we're about to get into detail, so you've been warned. We're getting into specifics here. I want to start with the wife's finger, how she lost her finger. Did not see that coming. I figured maybe she was trying to stop someone from hurting the girls or something like that. I was not expecting her to take her own finger. That is it's not a massive sacrifice, but it is a sacrifice. It's not something you just expect everyone to do. And I'd like to think that if I were faced with that situation, I would do the same, but I guarantee, like most people, I would be hesitant. It's not something you're just going to say, "Yes, take my finger." Right away. Something's wrong, take my finger. It's just not something that we generally think about doing. So I think it was super crazy impactful that happened. Something else that was really touching to me was the little boy. After his father commits suicide and he refuses to take off that Batman suit because if he takes it off, his father is dead. It's just heartbreaking that that's what he says. And it's also something I think is very real. That's probably the truth for a lot of kids. That's how they are. The reason I really enjoyed the ending, it's the kind of ending that sticks with you. It wasn't a happy ending. It wasn't a Hollywood ending, if you will. It's very likely that Little Bee was killed, which is sad. It's upsetting, but it's so impactful because it's probably very true. This is the kind of stuff that happens all the time that we don't hear about, or that we don't know about, or that we just pass through those headlines because they're uncomfortable. And I think that's one of the messages that Chris Cleave was trying to bring forward and say that we really need to pay attention to what's going on in other countries, especially third world countries that are exploited on a regular basis. And so I give high honors to Chris Cleave for that. It was a story that was well done. It was very well done, and I give high praise to Chris Cleave for writing about such a hard topic. That's my review of Little Bee. The next book I'll be reading is All the Right Stuff by Walter Dean Myers. Not really sure what this is about. It seems like just a story about four friends and their lives colliding kind of a thing. So I'm interested to read it. I will definitely do a review for All the Right Stuff in the very near future. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!